Good day, everyone. You are welcome to Soft Skills Academy. We're going to look at a basic concept on the Java programming. That's how you can go about setting your IDE, and then you start coding with it. And we are going to start right from the Hello World program, which is the basic programming concepts that we usually begin with it. And it's like we don't have output. Please, someone should message. It's like we don't have voice. Our audio is not clear, right? Let me check on my settings. Is it clear now? Our audio is not clear. Can you hear me right there, please? If you can hear me, please drop a comment on the comment section. At least let me know that I'm together with you. Are we together? People are saying network is bad. Network is bad. So we move. I can hear feedback and our audio is okay. So right from here we have our IDE. The IDE we are using is Eclipse, and then this is the window. As we can see from here, from the file to help, this is called menu bar, just as what we are having in the Microsoft Word and so. And this is the properties of this Eclipse, and the whole of this windows is called Workbench. And this area is our working environment, though the working environment is not active. That is our editor. Then we have the console, and the console is where usually we can have our output. So here we will be coming here to create new, but in creating this new we have something that we need to consider on. Are we starting project, or are we just moving on to create classes and whatsoever? So you might decide to create project. The project is a folder where all your programs are going to be sent to, and also the package is also a subfolder that can be able to contain all the programs of what you have been creating in that very particular program. So we want to start by the package. So usually in an IDE, in Eclipse IDE, you usually have this package, this IDE, and while coming here you have your package. Let's say COS 201 underscore CSC 211. So this is the name of our package, and we finish creating it, and we should have it somewhere at the casket here by the left, though it's not on. So we are going to come to this place again and set class. So in the class, we know usually our class reflect the name we are going to save our program with. So in this class, the first program I want to create here is Hello World, right? Hello World. This is the first program. So, and this is should be the name of my class. So right from here you can see which method stubs will you like to create. Do you want to create a public with a public static void in order to minimize stress of typing code and what have you? So here I want to use a public static void. Some people have been complaining that this is in the network was terrible. Okay, they are commenting that they can hear me now. So right from here we are done with this, and this should be public, and we have selected we don't want inheritance, but we selected that we want this statement that is public method to come over during our coding. So once we are done with the package name, we did not have our package name. The package name is COS 201. We are done with this, so we now click on OK. So now having this, our project is in a source of COS 201 dash underscore CSC 211, and we have our package. So our program now start from this, right? Start from this public class, not from the package. The package is just a subdirectory where all your program can be domiciled. So from now henceforth, all what we will be practicing is going to be under this hello world program, going to be under this package called COS 201. So now we have this. People have been lamenting on this network. So we have seen how we've been able to at least so we said this is how we go about saving our file or the first file as hello world, and we have these features. This is the name of the class and is the name we save our file with it, and this is the interim of the program, which is the main method. So here, what we are going to do, this is a comment, and commenting in Java programming, we use double forward slash in order to comment a single line. So while commenting multiple lines, we may decide to have a forward slash asterisk, then forward slash asterisk, then we have whatsoever line we have, then we have another asterisk forward slash. So with that, with this, we've been able to give example of our comments, right? So we have double forward slash for single line comment, forward slash asterisk asterisk forward slash for multiple commenting. So here what we are going to do, we are going to write a statement, and in doing that is called a function. So statement like system dot out dot print. So here we have another techniques. The techniques here is that we may decide to use ln, that is for our cursor to move to the next line, or we decide to leave it like that. Once we are done with that, so we can be able to write everything within a parenthesis. And if it is a string that we are writing in a parenthesis, so we should have what we call, we should have this double quote, then we now write hello world. So with this we are done. The only thing, we should put our semicolon. That's what we use in ending a comment. So we run it from this place, we can see run hello world, debug, whatsoever. So we are running this program now and wait for the output on the console, and as you can see here, we have hello world program, right? So with this we are done. So what we are going to do again next, we are going to look at the errors associated with our Java programming. And the errors associated with this Java programming are of three. One, we have what we call syntax error, which usually has to do with a compile error that stop your program from running. And we have a runtime error, which your program can be able to run, but at the end of the day will provide or will end up crashing. Three, we have logical error, and our logical error doesn't stop our program from running, but rather you might in one way or the other use a wrong function or a wrong formula in your logics. So that is how these three errors associated with this Java, and we are going to look at them here. Let's assume at the end of this, or while coding, you forgot to put instead of a full stop in between the out and print, so you now write comma. So you see now this will stop this program from running. So if we run it, it will now return a syntax error. It means it stopped it from running, right? So we now fix it and then run it back. We still have our hello world program. So the compile error, we are going to do it the runtime error we are going to do it later, but the example of it, assuming you want to divide any given number by 0, so this might lead to your program from crashing. And the logical error, instead of using multiplication sign, so you mistakenly use subtraction sign. So you see, this doesn't stop your program from running, but rather it harm your program from producing desired result. So that is for this. So what we are going to look at here, again, we are going to look at data types and variable at the same time. So if we talk about variable, we know these are containers that allows us to store data in a Java program or in any programming language given to us. And the data types are the types of data that you can be able to store in a program. So such example of these data types, we have integer data types, we have float data type, we have something like string data types, we have double, we have char, we have string. So all these are side types of database that you can be able to have into your Java programming language. So we are going to look at these data types and then have a variable. We said these variable are containers that you can be able to store your data into them. So let's quickly create another class here, and we name this class variables. Right, and data types. So this is the name of the new class, and we want this our public static void to come over. So we are done. So you see now we have opened another tab, and our previous tab still remain in existence. So here what we are going to do, we want to have what we call declare an initialization. We want to declare a variable and see how we can be able to store data into them. So let's assume we want to declare an age. So we have done it in one of the videos I did, I think recently last week. So something like, if we are going to declare age, we know definitely age doesn't have any given fraction or any decimal places. So in these cases, our age is going to be integer, and we are going to have it int. Then we have our age as, let's say we are going to assign a value called 18 into it, and then we end our statement with a semicolon as usual. So here our Java programming is very case sensitive, where if you use H here as capital letters, it means during output you should be able to also use H as capital letter, not the other way around. So we have age, int age as 18. So we have another one called, let's say we have double. Sorry, let's say we have double, and our double is going to be, let's say, price of a commodity can be a double, like can contain a decimal place or something. So double, let's say price, and our price is going to be maybe 200.10. So we have our semicolon, and then we also have car. Let's say our car, something like a grade. So anything on grade, we know it deals with a single character, right? A, B, C, D, F, or A, B, C, D, E, F, right? Each and every character has a single value. So we said car, let's say grade, right? Let's use grade. Then in the grade we have something like, let's say A. So in writing our grade here, usually is going to be enclosed within a single quote, right? If it is a string, it's going to be within double quote, just as we did that of a hello world. But if it's a character, it's going to be within single quotation. So we still end this and then we have a boolean. A boolean return a value of true or false. So we have bool, sorry, it should be double O. So we have boolean, which is going to be, let's say boolean is pass. Let's say pass, that is it pass or fail? So it's pass. So we are going to write it within a given string, right? Sorry, the boolean is going to be just true or false. So we have true, then we have our this. So the next one is going to be a string. So let's assume we have string, and our string is going to be a, let's say the student name, whatsoever name you have. Let's say name is equals to, and we have it inside a double quote. Sorry, that string should be capital S. So within this we are going to have, let's say Bamanga. So we have Bamanga Mahmoud Ahmad as the name, so we end this semicolon. So now these are the key components of data types we are having. Integer, that is storing real numbers, and the numbers are going to be in a whole form. So we have double, which usually stored in the decimal places. We have car, which usually store in the grades, something like grade and the rest. We have boolean, which usually save the value of true or false, whether you pass is going to be rainy, is going to be sunny, and so on and so forth. We have string, which usually save the name, a given name, like the hello world, Mahmoud Ahmad Bawanga, just as I did here. So we have something like this. And then what we want to do now is for us to call something like we want to print, right? We want to print. So how are we going to print this? So just the same way we did with that of hello world program, right? I think we have something like system dot out dot print, then we have something like next line. This is the ethic. So let's say now, if we want to print, usually if you just say it, for example, this first one, if I just say age and then end this statement, if I run it, so I will have my age 18, right? So but if I want to modify it further, I can come into this place and say, you see, if you want to place anything with, if you want to print a string, so you put them inside a double quote, as we said, right? So if I now put something like this and say it, this is an example of integer value, right? Integer value. Then there is what we call concatenation in programming. So in concatenating here, whenever you use concatenation, comes whenever you use or try to use a string with a given number or a given variable. So we try to use our plus sign. So, and this now, if we run this, and then let's assume, let's create a space here inside, right? So let's assume we run it and we see it here, boom. So this is an example of integer value, right? So here we can continue to write, as we modify it. So this example of double value, and instead of this we now use price. Right? We now have, sorry, let's run this one and see. So you see the second one is going to come up. You see, this is an example of double value. So we have another one called grade. This is an example of a grade of a character, right? Of a character string. So here we are going to write grade. So let's assume, let's mistakenly have something like double capital G, and we see with this program will run into error. You see now, grade cannot be resolved to a variable. It's an exception in treat main method java.lang.error. So unresolved compilation problem. So it means I should come back, either come back to write capital G, a small g here, or go back to this place and now write something like this, and we have resolved this. So you see now, by just doing this, the red line disappeared, right? So let's quickly return it to the small letter G. So with this, we run this program again, we have it as A. So we move, right? So again, this is an example of a boolean decision. Example of boolean decision we have is underscore pass. So we run it and it's returned the value of true, you see. So again we move, we have the last one. This is an example of a string of characters. So we change this to what? to name, and that's it. We have it here. So you see now, this is how we've been able to give this example of variables and then data types. Let me go back here and see if we can be able to see some questions that need to answer. So we are looking for any issue. So all is a network related issue. Restart the live chat. So sorry, we are just looking for if there is any question that we can be able to address. So if there is none, so we look at another example and then see what we can be able to achieve. So noting all network related issue, all are issue related to network. So so we have these people just have been complaining network issues. So here this is what we have. Then we are going to look at the next thing here. We are going to look at this issue of multiple declaration, where for instance you have to declare something like, let's say we've saved this, we create another class, we give it a name multiple declaration, no space. So we need this. So in multiple declarations, you use it in order to, like, say int, like all the variables that you are going to declare there is going to be with the same data type. Let's say int x is equals to 4. So again we are going to have another y or something, let's say comma, and y is equals to 6, comma, and z is equals to 10. So comma. So with this you've been able to declare them in one under the same data types. So if you are going to print it, system dot out dot print, then you have next line, then you have x, right? So you have y, and then you have z. So with this you can be I did not end this, we end it, and then we run this program, and this is what we are having. So you see now you've been able to at least declare them in a single line line variable. So this is how you go about creating your variables, and so on and so forth. So let's assume we want to create, let's quickly have this example because of this issue of network, and so that at the end of the day I will share what I have with you here, if and only if we could able to at least have it, then we will now share it with you as a video recorded material. So we create this sharp class. So we have, let's say, simple interest. So we want to have this normal. So in creating simple interest, we need to look at something. We have a formula, right? And this formula is interest is equals to principal times rate, right? Principal times rate. So we have rate, we have principal, we have interest, three variables, right? So these variables, we are going to declare them one after the other. So in declaring this, let's say we said we have interest, right? We have interest, right? Our interest is going to be, or let's just have like this, it's not properly declared, and we have, I'm just trying to bring out the variables. Then we have rate, then we have is it principal, right? Principal. So we have this. So now what we are going to do, we know all these things deal with what? With a double, with decimal places. Thereby we are going to have them as double. That is double interest, double rate. So if you want, you can have it in one place. Double principal. So here now, what we are doing, we are just doing declaration. Then later we now do what we call initialization. And if in the same at the same time you want to declare and initialize, fine, it's not a problem. So now I will say principal, or yes, principal is going to be, let's avoid circumstance of spelling error. Principal is going to be 10,000, right? 10,000. So we have rate at which you collected this is going to be let's say, can we have it 10%, or let's say 0.00021, right? Something like 21%. So we have it like this. So in our interest now, our interest, let me also copy this to avoid. So our interest is going to be principal. I love copying all these things without typing, because to avoid errors. Principal times what? Times rate. So this is what we have. So what we are going to do next is for us to have a printout statement. So we have system.out.print. So we have our interest now. This is what we want to print now. So if we just have it like this and we are done, the only thing, we end this statement. So with this, we are going to have our output of 210. But the problem, let's accompany this with a statement. The value of or the interest of a given values is, so we run this. Oh, we did not include our concatenation. So we run this and see. So you see the value of a given the interest of a given value is 210.0. so this is how you go about solving all necessitated formulas. If you have them, please give them a trial. You can copy this code down. Even if you have a system, please do practice of copying this code at least down on a paper. And whenever you want to write any given code, please try using at least a kind of a write-ups material in order to get this thing down on paper before transferring them onto the system. Is going to assist your coding ability very well. Thank you for being with us. Despite these network challenges, we still make it, though you shouldn't be worried. We are going to have a a video of this. We have recorded it, so, and it's going to be shared with you guys. Thank you for being with us. Remain blessed as usual.